Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, the stock market, metals, the dollar, whatever news is going on as the U.S. stock market gets set to open in the next 1 minute. I hope you all have been doing well. I have been on my summer vacations, as you guys are all aware of. It has been very nice. I've got a nice sunburn. I'm tired. When you go on vacation, you're like, hey, it's a good opportunity to rest. And then you just go crazy on your vacation and you're whooped at the end of it. You're ready to rest. And it feels good to just be back in the saddle right here in front of the computer and get back into the markets and get back into the swing of things as I was gone. But let's go ahead and dive into markets in the morning as the stock market is about to open any second now. Bitcoin sitting at $29,460. As I left last week, we were right back over here. So really just kind of moved down, settled, and then now we're back. It just so really unchanged over the course of the week. And that's really kind of the case of the whole market. I've already recorded a video this morning. It will be released within 30 minutes, I would think, 30 to 45 minutes after Markets in the Morning is over. The only real big price action we saw in the crypto market over the course of the last week has been XRP shifting down to the breakout level that happened after it was deemed not a security during summary judgment. So XRP has shifted its way back down. We'll take a look at that here in a second. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to cover. Stock market is down today after a big day yesterday. So we'll open here a little bit down for the stock market. Dollar has creeped its way back up. Metals are taking a nosedive down this morning. But as we can see over here in the crypto market, we are green this morning. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's run through the stuff we typically run through. You can follow me over here on Twitter at BCBacker. This is the only social media that I do use. I'm not DMing you. I'm not asking you to send me your crypto. Do not go follow anybody on Instagram or whatever social medias there are out there, Telegram, whatever. This is the only social media that I have that I actively use. BCBacker over there on Twitter. You can check out my newsletter over here, blockchainbacker.substack.com. Merch store is live per your request. That has been put live. There's a link in the chat right there. And then, of course, you guys know bcbacker.com, educational content, 40 plus videos, 11 hours of content. Check it out over here, bcbacker.com. Bitcoin, 29,463 holding supports. Let's look over there. XRP. XRP back down to the breakout level. Now looking for supports to start building in. I do see potentially an almost completed crashing structure in there for XRP nearing its very ending in here. I did post about this over there on Twitter this morning already that we've gotten back down here. You guys know it. We talked about this since the day of the breakout. This was always a possibility that we saw that we were consolidating much higher above the breakout level than we had in the past. It's typical to backtest these. Wondering whether or not we would. Answer is very obvious at this point. We have. But we are definitely, in my humble opinion, nearing the end of this. This is what a completed crashing structure is looking like. There still may be that seventh wave. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There may still be that final dip down in there, but we'll see if that ends up coming. I'll dive into deeper. I'll have another video coming out either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning, where we are just specifically going to look at XRP and we're going to look at Elliott wave counts on this thing. And I'm pretty excited about it. One thing we do know, we look over here at the other chart we've been talking about. So we've been talking about, you guys have seen it. We've been comparing XRP to like the total altcoin market cap, right? That it broke through the 200-week moving average versus the altcoin market. And we know that we broke through the 200-week moving average versus Bitcoin. And we've been watching this to say what would have to end up happening, right? Drawing out all the scenarios that for some reason, this is likely where we're heading. Will it be that Bitcoin shoots to the upside and XRP stays flat? Or will it have to be that Bitcoin stays flat and XRP falls? but some way or another, getting back to that 200-week moving average. As you can see, we're almost there. We're just a little bit over 2% away from it. So we've taken a big step back to get back to that 200-week moving average of the XRP versus Bitcoin price chart. Now we're within 2% of being there. So very, very close. Otherwise, looking over there at Bitcoin, 29,400, most of the market in the green, a few of them down here in the red. The biggest one down today is Optimism, but yesterday Optimism was up significantly yesterday. And that just kind of seems to be the thing that we keep seeing happening here in the market. And, occasionally I pulled out my phone and just looked at the charts to see what was happening. It was mostly flat during the whole time outside of XRP pulling back down to supports, but otherwise just kind of boring. But you occasionally saw one random coin was having a big day. Like today, it's HBAR having a better day, but I think OP at some point was up quite a bit. And then like a couple days before that, SHIB was up like 30% or something. So we've definitely seen that, like, just your random coins going for the big move. But when you look at like the total market cap of the market, total altcoin market cap, there hasn't been a big shift in actual new liquidity entering into the market or the value of the entire cryptocurrency market rising. It's more of just been like a sloshing, washing machine. Money's just kind of flooding back and forth in the market with traders trading against each other. Hey, everybody, come chase this coin. Hey, everybody, come chase this coin. And that's just kind of what we've seen for the last several days in here. As Bitcoin has pulled back down to what we've talked about many times in here. I'm not going to dive deep into it, and I briefly touch on it in the video. You guys know it. There's that support there. Have we completed the whole thing? It's looking like there's a chance that we have. But as we all know, we've seen how the price action of Bitcoin has behaved all of 2023. Anybody looking for this thing to just gradually creep up and make you feel better? That's not what's happened in any of the moves up in 2023. Every single move up has been marked by surprise, wrong footing, up and away it goes. Every single one of these has behaved like that. Everybody who is bearish or got just their feelings hurt from waiting too long ended up getting wrong footed on it and chasing the top again. Then their feelings get hurt and it goes again. That's just how it's been. So that's essentially just what we're waiting on for Bitcoin. Hurry up, make the move, and then we could start talking about it. Otherwise, no change since last week for Bitcoin. The biggest change in the week has been XRP getting back down to the support level, and then the XRP versus Bitcoin price chart getting back down to the 200-week moving average. Those are the things that are really actually the most interesting here in the crypto market. Otherwise, it's really just been a stagnant flat line while I was on vacation. So nothing too crazy happening while I was gone. Yesterday, the stock market had a pretty decent day. It was the Dow was up 400 points. Can't remember what the others were, but Dow was up over 400. It's taken it back this morning, down 287 here at the opening. Now it's been open for 6 minutes. Let's take a look here. You can see the ones that are up today. You have Apple slightly up, Netflix slightly up. Then you have Caterpillar, Ark, and United Health down here at the lows. Yields slightly down. The only one a little bit up is the 6 month, but that's really not much. These things have been sitting at this 5.26, 5.28, 5.28, 5.29 for what feels like months at this point. There's been no change on these short duration yields, but the longer duration yields are pulling back after being up last week. Anyway, looking over here, let's go to the dollar. Dollar moving up. So last week, the dollar, and earlier this week, dollar had moved down, now shifting back up. Not a lot to say out of that. Out of if it reverses, it got down to the interesting price level. We expected all of 2023 we'd get down to that 99 to 100. We got there. Now we're bouncing off of there. If we shift all the way back up to say 105, I'll likely be in the camp that the bottom of the dollar is in. But like we talked about last week, if you did shift all the way up there, what are you likely going to get next? You're going to get into ABC next. It doesn't mean it's time to go skyrocketing to the moon. That there would be an ABC following after that, but then the skyrocket to the moon would come for the dollar later. So if we shift up there, we start getting through 103.6, we get through 104.7, I'll be in that camp that the bottom of the dollar is already in. Still, it can be up for debate sitting right in here. It could definitely still be up for debate. But if we start taking these guys out, I'll be in the camp that the reversal is on its way, but there will likely be an ABC before the real reversal does end up coming. As for gold is down this morning. So that's always a positive sign for equities in the end, is that gold is not in a rampage. So good to see that. That's good for crypto as well. I think there's a lot of confusion out there, as I always say, that gold and crypto go hand in hand. They do not. They are opposite when it comes to bull runs. Like, this is a range. So right, so everybody tries to tie it, saying, hey, we're acting like it in this range. But it's more of like my discussions of them acting polar opposite is bull runs. Ranging is not bull runs. So if we see gold break out into new all-time highs, likely a big fat warning sign for crypto, a big fat warning sign for equity market. But so long as it's pulling back, there could still be hope and optimism out there. Juan Estrada says, BC Backer, when member stream. I think we just had one 2 weeks ago and have been on vacation since then. We'll probably get one in this weekend. Let's go ahead and move on. The big news announced yesterday was PayPal announced that they are launching a PYUSD stablecoin on the Ethereum blockchain. Excuse me. I saw a John Deaton post about this this morning, I believe, and I included it in my video today. He had stated, if you would have told me that XRP wouldn't break above $1 after getting designated not a security and getting legal clarity, if you would have told me that Ethereum's price wouldn't have moved if PayPal was building on top of the Ethereum blockchain, it goes to show you, you can believe all the narratives we want. These things can have temporary little price moves. What's the thing we all need? We need Bitcoin to go up, right? And that's been the same messaging here on this channel has been Bitcoin and seeing liquidity flood-ins into the market. And so the price of Ethereum was completely unaffected by the fact that PayPal is now issuing a stablecoin on the Ethereum blockchain. However, we all just wait and waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing. So there you go. PayPal's new stablecoin pitch. What will it take to get Bitcoin to 30K? Circle makes crypto payments easier with new programmable Web3 wallet. Nothing here. We need to get over to macro news. Here's what's happening in crypto today. Binance sold USDC for Bitcoin and ETH after Silvergate Bank collapse. Buffett and Ackman take opposing sides on treasury yields. Bill Ackman is just, if you don't know who Bill Ackman is, like, oh my gosh. China's risky Bitcoin court decision. Price analysis. Okay. Hot stories, chat GBT prompts. Really, we're still doing that. Elon Musk rebrands Twitter Blue subscription to X Premium. All right, this is the big one. Let's go over here to Dow future slide 200 points with bank shares under pressure from Moody's downgrade. So let's see what happens over here. So it looks like the banks have been downgraded this morning. Stocks retreated Tuesday as a decline in bank shares dampened investor sentiment. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 249 points or 0.7%. Banks fell broadly after Moody's downgraded the credit rating on several banks, including M&T and Pinnacle Financial. The credit agency also placed Bank of New York Mellon and State Street on review for downgrade. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase traded more than 2% lower. Earnings season continued. UPS shares dropped more than 2% after the delivery giant reported weaker than expected revenue. I know we got a guy here who works for UPS. Did that really? And I haven't read up on it because I've been on vacation. I just, I watch my coin videos and stuff like that. And I heard them saying, did UPS up it? Drivers are making $49 an hour. Is that what that is? Is that right? That's what they negotiated. UPS drivers make a minimum of $49 an hour. That is wild. All right. So some banks got downgraded. Wall Street to pay hundreds of millions more in a WhatsApp case, or Wall Street, and it's got a picture of Wells Fargo there. U.S. bank shares drop after Moody's cuts ratings. Okay. That's it. All right, let's look over at the stock market because that's where we're getting the action here. We are down 279, 278 for the Dow as we open up. It is Tuesday. Feels weird. Feels like a Monday. Almost felt like a Wednesday. I didn't know what day it was when I was making the thumbnail for the video today. I had to keep double checking. Oh, we will. Okay, there we go. Mintman says we will top out at $49 at the end of the contract. Okay. He's talking about UPS drivers. There you go. Settling in. Apple and Roblox are both slightly up. Losers are Arc, Caterpillar, and Amazon and Tesla. So sloppy day today after an up day yesterday in the market. So you got the Dow down 287 after yesterday's up day of 400. So a weird and wacky week so far. I've tried to wave count this on my thoughts on what this is. It's just going to my thoughts are that this is not, the Dow and the stock market are not going into a giant bull run. They could go into all-time highs, but not going into a giant bull run. And if I was to wave count this, we got to be cautious here, but if we're going to try to do an early wave count guess, my guess is this is a WXY. And that this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that we actually have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still coming in here, so that this is actually the wrap up of wave 3, and that there were actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 distinguishable waves there within that. So I think we're in wave 4 correction here for the Dow. But due to it getting through all the retraces, I'm optimistic that it'll keep rising. But certainly, we're not discussing Dow Jones going into massive, super, mega, monster bull run. We're talking about trying to guess the top. So, and a long-term top. So, all right. I think that's it. That's what we got today. So we got a down day over here in the stock market, with the narrative being downgrades of banks. Looks like, okay, there we go. We got everything flipped red now. Then we've got Bitcoin up slightly. It's at $29,356, or up $175. So not a drastic change since I've been gone on vacation. And then XRP back at the support level, hopefully, which was the breakout level that we've been talking about since July 13th when the breakout occurred. So here we are. We're looking like we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what would come after that, right? Potentially roll up. And then finally, our final base does come in here. But structurally, it's good to see all of these things. So these are the things I'm looking for to start getting excited. So we're getting close. Like I've said, I've got some Bitcoin on the side that I am willing to flip over to XRP, and we're dang close to it. Dang close to it happening. Will it be the right decision? I don't know. But it's been 4 years since we've been on the upper bound of this range. I'm gonna take a shot at it. So I did buy Bitcoin after the FTX collapse happened. I got back in. I got my holdings of Bitcoin almost back up to where they were prior to the last bull run. So I'm gonna be willing to flip some of it in there for the first time. Look at that, in 4 years. So we're getting really close. I'm pretty excited, and of course, a little nervous to do it. My Bitcoin just sits there and doesn't do anything. So to actually move some of it, a little nerve-wracking. But as we could see, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's likely? Seems likely. You got one last little dip here, and that's probably where it's going to end up happening. So, okay. There we go. Back to supports. Looking like near completed crashing structures. Looking definitely oversold, right? Finally oversold over here as we've gotten down to these levels for XRP, as we're getting back to the 200-week moving average. Bitcoin still waddling sideways above that support level, as it has in past ABC corrections, after it breaks back up and then builds some support. So nothing out of line here. We're all just bored. We're all just tired of waiting on it. We've been here for 2 months, right? We got here on June 21st. It's now August 8th. So what does that put us at? A month and 3 weeks, close to it, a little bit less maybe. Almost there. Otherwise, nothing crazy happening over here in the markets today. Just waiting for the inevitable day, hopefully, where finally this thing starts to go, as it has all 3 times in 2023. It's not a grind. It's always been a pop. So, all right, let's dive into the chat, guys. Feels good to be back. I'll have a video out about 30 minutes to 45 minutes after this video is completed, or after this live stream is completed. And then I'm going to start working on an XRP video with Elliott wave counts. And that, if it gets completed early enough, can be released this afternoon. Otherwise, it would be released early tomorrow morning. All right. Lenosik First, Kappa, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oscar Hernandez gives 10 memberships. My dude, thank you very much, Oscar. It's good to be back, man. You got a new profile picture there, man. I can't read it though. The text is too small. Mitman. Oh yeah, he said we'll top out at $49 at the end of the contract. He's talking about UPS workers as he is on his 2-month membership as a backer. Thank you, man. Oscar Hernandez, count on new members. Thank you, my dude. Oh, look, it didn't show your things. Let's see, you got Blue Wave Heart. Okay, cool. Cougar Love says, please talk about XRP. Ripple is dumping into the market. No wonder we cannot get a massive pump. We are being screwed by Ripple. No doubt about it. This matters. Cougar Love, you must not watch this channel, man. Ripple owns most XRP. They own 50 billion about. If you've been unaware of that since you've gotten into this, well, then you just didn't do any research, man. They own that much. They try to be transparent with it and tell you how much is being sold on the market. Definitely, Ripple's primary business model is selling XRP. That's their primary business model. And of course, tries to get spun, and it's all the secret CBD stuff, and there's all this other stuff, and maybe that will end up being true one day. But their current primary revenue model is selling XRP. And if that's news to you, and you're just now getting frustrated about it because the price is down, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. That's just kind of how it has always been. So it's just like Bitcoin. There is a specific amount that is released onto the market every single month, every single day, every single hour. That is sold on the market by the miners. It's at a rate of, I think we're at 1.75% now. Are we still at 3? Brain's a little foggy right now. XRP gets sold on the market at an annual rate of about 6% per year. So, yep, that is what it is, my man. All right. Digital Dunce, BCB, welcome back, brother. When people start YouTube, how do you protect yourself from cycle stalkers who want to get your address or worse? Yeah, that does happen. So that stuff definitely does happen. And you don't think about that when you start out. When you start out as a YouTuber, I did all the things to try to increase my odds of success when I started. But then, you do start getting that. I don't know where it is where that ends up happening, where the stalkers do start, but it does end up happening, and it's pretty scary. People are, it's just part of it. It just comes with it. Nah. Yeah, I mean, you could try your best, but there's some people who do dedicate a lot of time to trying to do that stuff. So you can try. It just depends on how much you want to expose about yourself. But given enough time, there are people who are dedicated enough who will find you. Crypto Pigeon, Yo BCB, in 2017 when we broke out, XRP came within 2%, I believe, of backtesting the previous high. The low could be in. Yeah, let's see. Correct. We pointed that last week. We can pull that up. No, wait. In 2017, within 2% of backtesting the previous high. No, this was full backtest. I was talking about Bitcoin. Like in here, right? Not quite a backtest. In 2017, when we broke out, XRP came within 2%, I believe, of backtesting the previous high. The low could be in. Yeah, I mean, we're low enough to where, there's likely serious accumulation happening down in here. Whether or not it's the bottom has yet to be seen. I don't see any evidence suggesting it yet. A clear break, like for XRP. Let's go back. Where are you? I think if XRP got back to, and it's far away, right? So it's pretty hindsight to say it by that time. But I mean, if you cleared above like 68 cents, then I would start thinking it's probably in. But that, you know, obviously we're getting pretty high up there before that would get confirmed for me. But even like dancing around in here in the mid 65s, I'd still be on caution that there's the, you know, the one last one, right? Like if you crash structured count this, what would you put it at? 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Right, and it doesn't necessarily have to stop. I mean, you can go. We've seen them; they do come up sometimes above. Then out, right? So that's what I see right now. If it morphs and if it changes, rock and roll. But that's just from what I see currently right now. Kale says, what platform is it that you do all of your charting? I am using TradingView. Not sponsored. But yeah, using TradingView. They do have free accounts that you can set up. I do have a more premium account, so I can add a whole lot more indicators, and so I can add more alerts and stuff like that. Not sponsored. No benefit, just kind of giving you the details on that. But yeah. Oscar says, BCB, were you able to get a tan? Yes, I do have a tan now, and I'm getting past the point of where it's feeling burned. Now I'm just silky smooth voice with silky smooth skin. Mintman, so glad you're back. I didn't know how addicted I was to that smooth, silky voice in the morning. Oscar, thank you for the membership. Yes. So it feels good to be back. It's been weird, as you guys know. It's since July 27th. I've only been on here 2 days. So it's been weird kind of being away so much because that's not typical. The last time I actually ended up having like a real type of vacation was when I went on my trip with my wife on a road trip. But I even brought you guys along with me. There was never more than 2 days off, even during that trip, which was 2 weeks long. So I don't think there's ever been a time, I don't think ever, where there's been 5 days off of this YouTube channel, ever. And I think that was it. I don't think there's ever been that before. Thank you, Hamish. Hamish says, BCB, you were missed. Hope you had a great vacation. Thank you very much. Yes, I did. So feels good to be back. Feels good to spend time with family, right? So I was with family. Not just my family, but extended family. So it was really nice. WM Wealth Master Mentor, what do you think about Bitcoin Cash? I mean, it had Wyckoff breakout. It hasn't even back tested way back down there. I don't see anything to like be thrilled about with Bitcoin Cash. Jens Van Zon. Stocks are falling. Let's see, what are you at? Down 387. No, I don't think so. He said, what does he say? Stocks are falling through the retracement levels. Is this a problem for crypto? No, you can go back and look. So really getting through the retracement levels, what does it signify? It signifies they weren't the rejection level, right? Typically, if you're rejecting, the retraces are going to be the spots that it's going to happen at. Let's look at I don't remember what Ethereum did back at the peak. right? So the retracement levels were not the rejection level, but it didn't mean there wasn't consolidation afterwards. Excuse me, that was a hard swallow. I hate it when people do that. Kevin Smith says, hey man, welcome back. Can you show us how you brought up the total 2 over XRP USD chart on TradingView, please? I cannot figure it out. Also, please update us on this chart. I think it was exactly what you did. There it is. Exactly like you had it. Literally typing in exactly what you wrote. Total 2 over XRP USD. Let's take a look. Let's add in the 200-week moving average. There we go. As we talked about last week, right, what would be likely? A revisit of that moving average after breaking it down for the first time in all of history. So getting close, not quite there. Will it have to go all the way? We'll see. Logic would tell me probably. But this is what we talked about last week. So I would just type in exactly what you typed in, total 2 over XRP USD, and there it is. Right. So what this is like if we were measuring the altcoin market in XRPs rather than measuring it in dollars. And what you would have there is a bubble pop. Let's see. Consumer to blockchain solutions. Thank you very much. Says, welcome back, BCB. I hope you're recharged. I think LPT is testing a last point of support for an early breakout. What do you think? I don't follow LivePeer. So I'm not fully rehearsed in this chart. It doesn't look like one of the stronger ones in the market. Looks more like, it shot up, getting knocked back pretty hard. Not sure there's much to extrapolate from this particular chart that is any different than any of the other altcoins in the altcoin market. So I don't see anything really there. But thank you. Daniel, thank you very much. Says, Daddy's back. Welcome back, King. Oh, man, thank you. Oscar says, blockchain trucker, New York City busted out the pen for TAs while you were gone. According to his lines, Ethereum to 40,000. Hit the like button for the best support. Yes, thank you very much. We're at 589 likes. Number one way to support the channel is just hitting the like button. Doesn't even need to be super chats. Doesn't even need to be anything else. Just hitting the like button is the number one way to support. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I love Blockchain Trucker NYC over there on Twitter. If you're not following him, a very funny follow. And I think that's a lot of what we have here, right? That's why XRP, the standard productions, things that just kind of during the boring times and we're all just waiting for things to happen, a little bit of entertainment along the way is always nice. Oscar Hernandez, are there any updates on Doge and XRP similarities? Updates on Doge and XRP similarities. Are you talking about like Doge from 2017 or 2018 and 19? I think the only thing that's similar about Doge is just kind of what 2018, 2019. Nice thing about, at least with Doge, first of all, I don't think I own any Doge. If I do own any Doge, it's at a point where it's not even memorable to me, but I don't think I actually own any of it. Just when we look, like people think that what's happening in this market is so different and right. And I get it. Your first time through these things, they're just a dang nightmare to get through. But when you see this is actually just how all of these always behave, you could see and I don't think Doge is going to do this. It just mathematically, I don't think it's going to do that. I think the thing that Doge has is like it could do the retrace like XRP did, right? XRP had the retrace. Doge could potentially do the retrace. But you could see here, this is nothing different than what Doge has historically done in regards to how it draws down. The point I actually was just going to point out here is that based on time, right, we're past C19. So if you want to imagine where we are for the OGs in the space, the people who were here in 2018, 2019, and 2020, imagine you are like in April of 2020. C19 just happened. You just watched the stock market get crumbled. And you've been in the market for years and you just watched C19 happen and there's 25% unemployment, right? Everybody's screaming this market's never coming back. Everybody's fearful. The fear was even worse this far into it than it is now, just based on how that was. So to kind of get you understand where we are here, it's like we're in that moment. And I'm not saying we're moving at that same velocity, but if you wanted a reference point to say, how deep into this are we? For those who were here in 2018, 19, and 20, we're past C19, right? And remember, it was that, later that year, things started roaring. So Pi says, welcome back, GOAT. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. So, okay, this is how we're starting the day out. Let's take a look over here at the market. We've got mostly green in the market. You've got Bitcoin at 29,361. Thanks for everything, man, says Kale Pully. He says, thanks for everything. I've been watching your videos since 2020, and I absolutely love your analysis. What is your second biggest altcoin holding and why? Number one is XRP. Number two is Ethereum. So it's Ethereum. Mainly Ethereum, the massive amount of developer growth that still goes on there, also has deflationary tokenomics, and I'm not surprised in the least bit to see PayPal is building on top of Ethereum. Yeah, a lot of layer 2 solutions coming out there. They're going to reduce those gas fees. Whether or not we're there yet for all of that really helping just yet, I'm not sure. But definitely is Ethereum's number 2. And if in the current order of my top 3, it's XRP, Bitcoin, then Ethereum. If I do go through with selling some of this Bitcoin for XRP, it will still keep XRP at number 1, pushing it further in number 1, but it would also actually swap the positions of Ethereum and Bitcoin, in which it would be number 1, XRP, number 2, Ethereum, number 3, Bitcoin. But thank you, Kale. First timer. Thank you very much. Joe Dogle, first timer. No message. Appreciate it. But okay, that's where we're at, guys. We got Bitcoin up slightly today. It was just pretty much boring the whole time I was gone for most of the market. The only thing that we saw happen in there is XRP shifting back down now to getting near that support level. So I'll be working on a video for the rest of today. I actually have a video coming out within an hour. So prepare for a video within an hour. But then I'm going to start working on an XRP exclusive video and hopefully having that out by either late today. If it gets too late into the day, then I'm working on this thing, then it'll just be released first thing in the morning. But we're going to talk about Elliott waves on XRP and how this would be a totally normal move for XRP. What we're seeing right now should be considered wave E in a triangle. And this is just part of it. And I'm going to go digging through my old videos. And that's why it might take me a while. I have to go digging through my old videos to try to find the Elliott wave discussions that we've done on XRP and show how we are there. Juan, again, So when is the members stream? We did one 2 weeks ago. We did two last month. The last one was 2 weeks ago. Like I answered your question earlier and said potentially this weekend. P. Pega, longtime lurker here. What's going on with Tesla? Greetings from Germany. I don't know what's going on with Tesla. What is going on with Tesla? Nothing. Oops. We talked about this when Tesla was breaking out, that it had, or before it broke out, that it had reversal potential here. What I would think for Tesla, it's probably going to at least backtest here. If it holds this backtest level, you've got potential for continuation. Problem with Tesla is that you better have a good macro thesis. And if nobody has a macro thesis, you better build one. Right? What is it? Is the market going to go rampage? Because here's what is going to happen, right? And I don't know the answer of what will happen, but I can tell you what will happen because I've seen it in the crypto market and we lived through it. Everyone needs to have their own thesis of what happens if the stock market breaks out into a new all-time high and how everybody is going to treat it. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your bags. I never tell you when to buy. I never tell you when to sell. But what is going to be your thesis in this scenario? Is this the start of a new bull run? If it's the start of a new bull run, well, then Tesla is probably just fine. If it's not the start of a new bull run and it's reaching a 4.236 extension, then do you think Tesla is going to be fine? Probably not. And so, figuring out what is your thesis of the market in general rather than individual stocks, because these are liquidity events. These damage everything in liquidity events. So if your thesis on the whole market is that it's going to, in a rampaging bull run, this thing is going to set new highs. It's not going to stop at the 4.236 extension for the Dow. It's not going to stop at the 4.236 extension for the NASDAQ. We're just going to rampage on for years to come. Tesla's probably fine, right? Looks pretty good. But that's the concern I would have. Jaxer4 says, XRP futures are brutal. I had my liquidation at 44 cents. Then price jumps, and then I'm greedy, and I put a long in, and it merges with my first, and now I'm liquidated at 59. Ugh. Again, like I say every time, I don't use margin. I don't use leverage. I don't do any of that kind of crazy stuff. It's one way to get the entire account wiped out. And here's the hard thing about leverage and what happens with people. And I just know this from talking to other people and seeing it happen to them. You win a couple and you feel pretty good. Wow, that was really easy. And it turns out you actually just got a little bit lucky. And then eventually it all gets wiped out. And that's usually when the devastation happens to people. And seeing that happen to them. Crypto Keeper says, could you see the XRP price hit a seventh wave, touching that breakout zone? Then the SEC appeals, and then bad news marks the bottom. I'm just spitballing here. We have watched the SEC time events multiple times, right? They timed their lawsuit against Ripple 5 days after Bitcoin broke out into its all-time high, the day after the weekly candle close happened. We watched the SEC and for those who have been here watching markets in the morning and who got sick of the boxes, the green boxes that were here every single day, where were the boxes, right? I don't even remember. They were down here. It was like this, right? I don't know. they come in and do their attacks down here, right? And then what happens? BlackRock makes the announcement. Market goes away. Everybody gets wrong-footed down here, right? What happened? You know, it's these timed events that happen. So do I think your theory is outlandish? No, it's right. It would be right in line with their typical behavior. Do I know that that will happen? No, I have absolutely no clue. But like we did talk about last week, I believe it was, I only did 2 videos last week, so I think it was last week. What has been that has happened every one of these bottoms? They've all been marked with really bad news, right? All of them have been brutal, right? FTX collapse, right? Banks collapse. SEC sues Binance and Coinbase, right? Naming multiple coins as securities, right? So we've seen that continuously there's some type of negative news at the bottom. And what happens at these peaks, right? We keep seeing positive news. What's this one? Anybody remember? Bitcoin's going to $1 million in 90 days. What's this one? Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved, right? I've been saying, guys, the ETF carrot has been dangled so much. I put literally, I'm being dead serious. I put literally 0 vested equity of emotions into a Bitcoin ETF. Absolutely 0. None. I've been here long enough to watch this movie script play out 1,000 times to know. And anybody getting really excited about it, it proves they weren't here in 2018, 19, and 20. Like, you've seen this. You've seen this a million times. So don't get sucked into the trap of the ETF. And it will always be that. I think it's just part of the marketing. I bet, you ever think there's like a group of whales who like market stories and stuff to the community, to the communities, to try to keep morale up and keep interest up and keep liquidity going. I often think that's what that is with the ETF stuff. Yeah, the filings are happening, but come on. We've had a ton of filings over the years. No, but this time it has the best odds. Yeah, so did everyone prior to that. It had better odds than the one prior to before. Wally Walnut says, once the Dow Jones Industrial Average crumbles down, do you think all stocks of the world will do so? Or is it the rise of a new king? Example of China, Southeast Asia market. Cheers, bro. I have no clue. I have no clue what that would be. Typically, there's going to be some event. We always see that. There's some news narrative. There's something to blame it all. And typically, whatever it is, it won't be blamed on the government. It won't be blamed on the Federal Reserve, whatever the event is. I don't know. I don't know what the narrative would be. Or the restructuring of anything, if there would even be a restructure. What if the United States just becomes super powerful, the super mega power? The dollar becomes ridiculously strong, right? You would think in an event where everything comes crumbling down, what does that crumbling down actually mean? It means that everything is worth less when valued in US dollars. So the dollar is actually stronger. So does this dollar become a superpower? I don't know. Oscar says, where can we find your NFTs at? They are available on XRP.com. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. But yeah, Crypto Keeper, maybe, right? It's probably, we're getting so close. It would seem logical that would be the event, because then what will happen after that? Bitcoiners will go on a rampage of news narratives saying that the SEC has appealed, and this is really bad for XRP. And there's a lot of low information people who did come in after XRP won, right? This is not to take a shot at them. It's that they just haven't been around through all of this. When the lawsuit maybe happened, maybe they walked away. They said, you know what? I'm not messing with this thing while this is happening. Lawsuit ends. They say, oh, crud, what? And then they come running back and they get in. And now they're kind of like starting to fill their heads with information to get re-entered into the world of XRP and what's going on. And then if that appeal happens, boom, they get all scared at the bottom. And then you've got, of course, all these Bitcoiners who are going to make a million videos to try to say, it's going down, right? That's what's going to happen. So that might, I don't think it's far-fetched to see that could be the scenario, that the bottom gets marked by the SEC appealing. Stelios. Thank you very much. First timer. But okay. Otherwise, guys, that's it. Bitcoin just sitting flat. We've got mostly green over here in the cryptocurrency market. The stock market taking a beating this morning. You got the Dow down 450 points after yesterday's 400-point rise. You got the only one you got in green. Look at that. You got Coinbase in the green this morning. Coinbase and Roblox, where you've got Caterpillar and Amazon and Ford as the losers of the morning. Yields mostly down. Gold and silver both down this morning. DXY up a little bit this morning as well. Dingus4 says, thanks for the advice. My emotional log is wild right now. Keep it up. Keep it up. Be ruthless. I'm telling you, when you go back to it in a year from now, the best part about it is going back and then like marking the spots of where you were writing when things were happening. And you go back and you start marking these spots in here and remembering what it was like, and then going through and like having a full documentation of what a Wyckoff accumulation is like, and being able to like understand each spot in it, where you got a little excited, where you got really mad and angry, where you became, emotionally disconnected, where you just stop feeling anything. You're just so deep in depression, you don't feel anything anymore. Nothing makes you excited. Nothing ends up happening. And where were the levels where you started feeling again, where you started getting back, coming back to life? And that does happen in this market, especially this market, because it's so volatile. And so I fortunately have a log of this whole moment. And in here, in mine, I was still extremely emotionally disconnected in here. And it was right here where suddenly all the excitement returned. It wasn't here. It wasn't getting here. It wasn't getting here. None of this was exciting. It was there. It was that break that suddenly excitement returned. And I suspect we'll see that happening in the market. Celios asks, hi, is the PayPal news good enough for a breakout? Obviously not. If it was, it would have already happened. No, I can't bring that up. Crypto Nap. Thank you for the super chat, but no. Oscar Hernandez. Bitcoin halving equals bull run, right? Yeah, it was silent. I was reading a super chat. Somebody wanted me to cover a low liquidity altcoin. It was their first time super chatting. And not happening. Do not touch that thing. I don't know what that is. Do not touch. Don't know what that is. All right. To black. XRP to 50 cents. He says we're going all the way to 50. We'll find out. Did you even travel to the Netherlands? I don't know if you're talking to me. Brian, welcome back, BCB. Thank you very much. David says, do you ever use log-based fibs, BCB? No, absolutely not. I remember at the peak of the bull run, like YouTubers were creating videos to try to trash talk me, to say I was wrong about the top because I should have been using log-based fibs. All of them missed it. Jay, thanks for all you do, BCB. What do you think about the VIX breaking out today? Man, I see people look at the VIX all day, every day. People who are pros who talk about the VIX all the time. I don't know how to, I don't know what to take at the VIX. right? I mean, look at how it reacts. Is it really a breakout? It's still low or high, right? What if it's just doing this, right? I mean, that's what it normally does. So I don't have much to extrapolate from VIX. And the people who I do follow on Twitter who follow it very closely, they obviously don't know either. So I'm definitely not going to take a shot at seeing the VIX. Right? I'm not saying this is what's happening, but like I think we all know. This is just, is it in that? I don't know. Baby Oscar Hernandez, welcome, says, me nanny says, buy XLM or Stellar Lumens. What does a baby do? I'll let that your nanny tell you what to do. Stacking blocks, latent lurking. Antoine Karam says, how do you see XRP moving in the next weeks? Thanks. Yeah, so I'll be covering that in the video that I put out later today. So we'll talk about setups. Now we're looking for bottoms to form, right? So now we're looking to see if XRP can start building a bottom down in here. We'll talk about those different types of structures happening in bottoms being built. As you can see, sometimes these can last a long time before you get that seventh wave to happen and then they move up. I'm going to speculate we're not going to take that long. But I'll show you the things that I'm looking at and what typically happens in a wave E on Wyckoff, not Wyckoff, Elliott wave. Stacking blocks, milestone of lurking, got BCB twerking. Oscar Hernandez says, fish update. And dude, Eric keeps telling me, you're forgetting to do Friday fluff. I haven't done it in like 2 months. I need to do it. There we go. T-Web, peace. All right. Friday fluff. Yeah, there's Eric. Friday fluff. Let's go. All right, guys. So that's it. We've got 2,000 people in here. We got 874 likes. If you guys could hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. I am back. I've got a video that I'm working on right now. It should be out within 30 to 45 minutes. We're almost at 1 hour for this live stream, so I'm going to bring this thing to a conclusion. Mostly okay here in the cryptocurrency market today. Stock market definitely taking a hit today with a bunch of bank downgrades after a pretty big day yesterday. So it's pretty much Dow was up over 400 points today, now down over 400 points the very next day. So not a whole lot of trending happening there in the Dow. So Bitcoin up to 29,400, XRP back near those support levels, XRP back near the 200-week moving average over here, which we've been watching. And now we're just waiting for a base to form over here on XRP, which the missing element for XRP has been what? Bitcoin. Always has been. So hopefully we get that move happening in Bitcoin pretty soon. We'll dive into that as the days keep going. I do cover Bitcoin in today's video along with XRP, Ethereum, and the altcoin market. That'll be out in about 30 to 45 minutes. Otherwise, let's get this thing going. If you guys are looking for something to do, of course, you could check out bcbacker.com. There is a section in here on Elliott waves and Elliott wave triangles. Those are things that we are going to be talking about in the video that I release for XRP either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. So if you want to brush up on those, you can check that out over here. There are over 40 videos. So there's 41 videos in here, 11 hours of content recorded by yours truly. So if you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, it's recorded in the same format over here on bcbacker.com. Otherwise, I think I've got everybody covered. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, it was totally unintentional, but it feels good to be back on the show. It feels good to be back on YouTube. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Oh, no, Eric Roper, you missed me. Oh, well. All right, if you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.